Alrighty, we're doing another backtesting session today. The last one I did was for December here. I started to do or check out the charts for the last 2 weeks of December, but I mean it was pretty obvious that it's pretty untradeable. So we just left it at that. So for December 2022, the results, I mean, so far, I mean, we got 4R, 9R, so 13. We got 0 on the third week. So we're up 13R for December 2022. And then just some information. R, the reason why I say R is just, it depends on whatever you are risking. So in my case, I risk 0.25% on my Fibers account. So, you just do the math there, right? So 0.25% is what I'm risking. So 4 times 0.25% is what I'd be making, at least for this week here. So let's see, we already finished November 22, we finished October. Let's just take a quick look at the results here. October 19R, that's it's not bad. September 17R was a lot slower in September. I mean, kind of similar to what's happening right now in 2023. It's just been slow for like the first 2-3 weeks, and then that last week was nice. So hopefully we get something similar for this year. Even August was okay, even though in my rules nowadays, I don't trade August, but it's just my own personal preference. July 32R. So we're going to be moving on to June here, June 2022. So let's start off. Let's do the first week here. We'll start off with. Okay. You know what? Fine. We'll do May 30th to June the 3rd. Awesome. That's what we'll be doing. So let's take a look at the news. Okay. So right there, this week. Perfect. Okay, May 30th, FOMC Waller speaks. So let's open up Trading View here. Remember, we want to add the news buffer. So May, that would be Q2. So ESM 2022, and then we also want NQM 2022. So for just for some context here, ES is S&P 500 and NQ is Nasdaq. So let's go over to May. Okay, May the 30th, and then go over to 8 a.m. Awesome. Do the same thing for Nasdaq. I'm probably gonna do 2 videos today, but I'm just gonna keep them separate, just to keep it nice and clean. So May 30th. It is near the end of the month for May, so honestly, this backtesting session might not be anything too crazy. But with that being said, let's mark up the news. We know the news is at 11, so we want to add a 10 to 15 minute buffer before and after the news. So there we go. And essentially what that buffer is, I'm not going to be executing a single trade within that buffer. So if I have an opportunity that presents itself, I will be entering either before that buffer or after the buffer, no in between. So now that we have the news, okay, hold on here. Okay, let's dive in. So let's take a look at our liquidity here. So there we go, previous day high. Oh, sorry, no, that's not the previous day high. This is the previous day high. Okay, so that means now the previous day high was swept. We can only be looking for EM2. We can no longer look for EM3 simply because the daily liquidity was swept in the before New York session, and we only want to look for EM3 if the daily liquidity is swept during New York session. So that's something to keep in mind there for your notes. So the overall target for the day is going to be this Tokyo low or Asian liquidity. And then for the EM2 models, we also want to identify any old previous session highs just in case the market continues to go the opposite direction. I do want to be looking for some sweep, right? So right now in this scenario, what I'm looking for here is the market to retrace to this previous session high and then look for a break, or the market might just, continue going up higher and higher and higher until we break that previous session high up here. So let's do the same thing for NASDAQ here quickly. So previous day high, swept. Cool. So the biases are aligned. I'm looking for a sell overall, given, you know, that the things I already talked about occur, right? Because I don't predict markets. I react to the markets. That's how I run. So if this, maybe, who knows, maybe this previous session high won't get swept. You know, it is what it is. Then there's no entry for that day then, right? So let's mark up the, actually this one looks like it's a little bit closer, but cool. All previous session high here. By the way, this is part of the new EM2 updates that I made a couple of days ago. I didn't post a video because I realized, you know, I didn't actually make any tutorials for the entry models other than the overview. But pretty much what that states is I'm not just randomly looking for like a sell just because the previous day high or low was swept. So I'm going to want some opposing liquidity to be swept first. And I only care about session liquidity and daily liquidity. So with that being said, let's hop over to NASDAQ, S&P. Cool. Let's save the charts here. Let's see what happens. Remember, I'm waiting for that previous session high to get swept first. Okay, so right now we can see here that our liquidity target was met for the day. So for that reason, there is no trades for ES. Now let's see what happens here. It could be a different story. Oh, no, nothing. Okay, cool. Nothing happened. All right, damn. So let's go over to May the 31st. So far, 0R for this week. Awesome. Okay, it should be good enough. Let's take a quick look at the news. CB Consumer at 10 a.m. So let's add our news buffer. Let's see, 9:48. That's cool with me. And then 10:12 should be the next one. That's fine. No problems there. See the same thing on ES. Go on the 12-minute time frame just to keep things separate here. I got this indicator here. If you want a quick detailed description of everything that I'm using, check out the entry model overview video. I'm going to pin that up on the channel. So let's see here, 10:48 and then 11:12. Awesome. So let's mark up our liquidity. Let's see, previous day high is right there, which was, wait, no, that's not the previous day high actually. There we go. Previous day high. Cool. Cool. Okay, previous day low. See, Sunday, Monday. Okay, previous day low was swept. So kind of the opposite what I'm looking for. I'm looking to target the previous session high. So because the previous day low was swept before New York session, I do want to see at least this previous session low swept before I even consider a buy, right? This is part of the new EM2 updates. It increased the win rate from 66% to 81%, and that's 2 years of data, by the way. So very nice improvements there. Just in case the market continues to trend down, I'm going to mark up an old previous session low, which is something else that we can use. Amazing. Okay, cool. Let's do the same thing for NASDAQ. Okay, that's gonna bug me. Hold on. Perfect. Okay, same thing. Previous day high. The overall target for the day is gonna be this Asian liquidity here, or just trade towards it, right? Because I have strict take profits. I don't exactly aim for, you know, the Asian liquidity point. If I did that, oh man, like I would be taking partials all the time, and I'm not about that, right? I want my profit in and out, and then just close the charts for the day. I don't even want to look at this shit. Okay. Awesome. Okay, let's go back to ES here. 10-minute time frame. Remember, I want to see that previous session low swept before I consider anything. Okay, there we go. Cool. So let's mark up our 10-minute swing high. Amazing. Let's see what the news driver does here. Oh, you know what? There was another break of structure, and this is the last swing high, so that's my bad. So we have right here a sell side liquidity sweep. Okay. Now we have our new 10-minute swing. Why is that? So we go on a 10-minute time frame here. We had a break of structure, making this the next swing high. Just for visualization, I'm going to mark this up here. So it's looking like a nice little reversal area there. Now, let's see. Let's see how market broke this. So market from the wick low to the wick high. We can see using the Fibonacci strength tool, it does not meet the criteria. Why? Because the candle body did not break above both of these red lines. So we got to wait for the next 3 candles. If one of the next 3 candles does not close above the red lines, we are not taking this trade. Nope. See, right? See, the reason why we have this, right? So we got 1, 2, 3. Okay. None of them closed above these red lines. So what that's telling me is that the market has a willingness to break this low here. So that's kind of like a little safeguard that I have here. Okay. So we can see here that that was not the case. However, you know, honestly, I do not at all regret it. This is something that has happened quite a lot, so nothing really to be worried about here. But we can see if it played out, we would have had our entry there, and it would have been pretty nice. But, you know, safeguards are important. But anyways, I mean, that is really it for the day. So who knows? Maybe this worked out on NASDAQ. You know, it does happen like that sometimes. Oh, and you know what? Yes, you know, we may be missing some moves and stuff like that, but I really do not care. Like, you know, this is a very high win rate entry model, and really that's the only thing that we should be caring about. So, okay, I'm aware that I'm going a little bit too fast here, but I am trying my best. So we can see this is the 10-minute swing high. I'm going to be on the 5-minute time frame here. So 10-minute swing high. I essentially want this to break in a strong manner. So we can see here that if we take out our Fibonacci strength tool, draw it from the wick low to the wick high of the candle that broke structure, the candle body did close above these red lines. So this is indeed a strong market structure shift. Now, in terms of entry here, if we just go on the aiming time frame to see if we can see a clean order block, nothing really too clean. So ideally what I'm going to be looking for here is to take this as my order block. Although this is probably the most extreme order block we have, I prefer the overall size and range of this. And we can see here that the stop loss is above 100 ticks, and this is NASDAQ, so we are going to be targeting 2R for this trade only. Now, we can see we have our news range here, so I need this entry to occur before the news range or after, or I'm not taking this trade. Okay, so we can see here on NASDAQ, we actually did get swept here, so, you know, it is what it is. It happens sometimes. So that is a recorded loss there. Let's see. So recorded loss kind of just broke right straight through. Let's double check the timings here. Just want to make sure it is all correct. 10 a.m. 10:45. Okay, no problem. So that is a recorded loss. So EM2 pair NASDAQ closed our 1 hour lesson. I always risk 0.5. Stop loss size was 129. Okay, 129. And you know what, guys? You know, sometimes people that do backtesting, you know, really try to hide the losses. But to be quite honest with you, I do not care. You know, they happen. It is trading. So let's see how it plays out after this. Let's go back on the 10-minute time frame here. So because this was invalid, we could perhaps be aiming lower for an old previous session low. But, you know, that might not be the case. We'll see what happens. Okay, so we can actually see that we created a new range here, which should have been identified a lot earlier. So where is that new range? It's going to be, see, we broke structure right here, leaving this as the next swing high. So let's see if we have a strong break above this line. So let's take out our Fibonacci tool, draw it from the wick low to the wick high. Let's double check this here. See, this is why you gotta zoom in sometimes, because we don't want to mess this up. So we can see here that the candle body really is right on the line. So it's really up to you. Actually, whoa, no, you know what? See, you want to make sure you get this stuff perfectly, because it can really save you a loss sometimes. So we can see it's pretty much right on the line. So I would be comfortable with this entry here. My only problem with this is that it's kind of a tight range. So for that reason, I would be taking my entry off of that candle body there, not that full wick. So this is a valid entry for a EM2. This is a second attempt. But we can see here that the stop loss is massive, right? Like it is above the 200 tick rule that we have here. So what we can do for this matter is just take it off of this extreme order block, which is somewhat similar to like a consequent encroachment or whatever ICT calls it there. So we can do that as well. So in that case, we'd only be taking this for a 2R. So let's see how it plays out. Okay, no entry. It is what it is. So that is it for that day. Let's take a quick look at Wednesday, ISM manufacturing PMI. All those news there at 10. So let's go back on a 12-minute time frame here. Awesome. Let's see. 10 a.m. Okay. It's kind of been consolidating pretty heavily. That's very interesting. So draw up our news range. Wait, it's at 10. So 10, 12. Do the same thing for NASDAQ. Yeah, not that much liquidity, surprisingly. But then again, it is the end of the month, so not the craziest news to see. Awesome. Okay, let's draw up our liquidity areas. So we got Tuesday. This is the previous day low. Okay, and then previous day high, I guess New York made it. Wait, Tuesday. Yeah. Yeah, okay. Yeah, we've kind of just been stuck in this range the way that it's looking. Okay, well, in that case, I will be looking for a EM1. Although it may be a little bit unlikely. We'll have to see what happens. Previous session low. Okay, so this is the... Okay, we broke that range, this previous session high. So we might have an opportunity for a EM1 V2. Just have to scroll back a little bit here because I let the market flow too much. Awesome, previous session high. Previous session high. So the target for the day, at least, well, for the session, depending on how it moves, is that previous day high. Now let's take a look at ES. Kind of the same story the way it's looking. Now keep in mind, it's very possible that we could aim for this previous day low, right? Which is why sometimes I like to use the EM1 V2 if kind of goes against my initial thoughts, because EM1 V2, the whole point is that it's really telling me the story, right? Because the market reacts to a premium or a discounted rate, that's really screaming out where the market wants to go, especially if it's off of the premium from these session liquidity points. So there we go. Okay, now let's begin replaying. So 10-minute time frame. For the EM1, I either want this previous session low to be swept, or I want this session high to be swept and then return to the session high as an area of a discount. Okay, there we go. Okay, so we can see, and it's very small, so you want to keep your eyes open. Okay, we're on a 10-minute time frame, right? We're on the 10-minute time frame. The market continue up, even created some FVGs along the way. There's one, there's two. Okay, we broke structure. Market had this reaction to the session high. So this would be the area that we need to break structure in order to look for a EM3. Now, this really only occurs a majority of the time when the market is super strong. So let's take a look at what happens here. So if we hop on the 5-minute, we can see, take out our Fibonacci tool. This is not at all a strong market structure shift. So it could very well be a reversal. So we want to let the next 3 candles play out. That one was strong. So because that one was strong, the second that candle closes, I can place my buy limit on this order block right here. So there we go. This is ES. 29 ticks, and we can see we're in the DOL, near the DOL here. Place it for 3R. Let's see if it gives us an entry. This looks pretty strong, so we might not get an entry. Okay, so now something to keep in mind here is that we did get our entry, correct? So I know it's very messy right now, so just try to really pay attention. So we got our entry. Okay, now if we go in the 10-minute time frame, where is the next swing high that we need to break structure? If this candle closes like this and we have our next candle paint here, that would give us a gap area, correct? So once that occurs, essentially I am looking to place break even on a trade just to be safe, right? So we can see here that we had our break of structure right here. The second that break of structure occurs, the market should have no real reason to be returning down unless we are in the case of a reversal. So we can see we would have hit break even, and in that case, this would have saved us a nice loss. So this would be break even. Let me just delete these lines here because I don't need them anymore. So we can see it saved us a loss. Had a huge fake out towards that previous day high. So June 1st, 29 ticks on ES. This is a EM1 V2. ES break even, 0.5 risk AM session, 29 I think. Yeah, 29 ticks. And then there we go. Perfect. I'll just leave a note here. 10-minute BOS after entry. Now, the moment that occurred and we see this reaction off this previous session high, that kind of tells us that this is a huge fake out, and what we could actually be looking for is a sell towards the previous day low. So this would be the next swing low. So if we go here on the 5-minute time frame, okay, I'm gonna just go back in time here. So the second that occurs, we can identify this as a bearish market structure shift. And if it has a strong break, we can potentially look for a short entry here. So let's draw up our fib tool on the candle that broke structure. And we can see the candle that broke structure, the candle body did close below those 2 red lines, leaving this to be a valid market structure shift. So with that being said, we can look for our best order block here, the most likely order block to play out. So Let's take out our Fibonacci tool. Now I'd be fairly comfortable with this order block here, very strong. However, just for safety's sake, instead we could also take this, well, it's called the 8-minute time frame actually. I would be much more comfortable using this as my full order block. All right, let's see what the size of the stop losses is. Okay, so that's too big. So order block wise, we're still kind of aligned with this one here. So let's see what this is. Okay, there we go. Much more comfortable with that. And then we can ride that for 3R. And there we go. Alrighty, so that is a 3R EM1 V1 win. This does occur sometimes, but you know, this is why we react to market. We don't predict. Normally, if once we have like this really strong, what time did this all happen at 9:30? Is a Judas swing, man? Okay, that's a crazy Judas swing. I can't even lie with you. So, Judas swing towards the previous day low. There we go, 3R. It's June 1st, 54. Or you know what, actually? I see now that it's 54 ticks. So if it was 54 ticks, we'd actually only take this for 2R. That's my bad. So 2R. Not that bad. Good, decent start to the week. That leaves us up 1R so far. A little bit slow, but it is what it is. EM1 V1. Pair ES trading session AM 59, I think 54. Okay, close enough. 0.5, and then that was 2R. So 2R for the week so far. Now, with that being said, we still got lots of time in the day here, so maybe we can even catch a EM3 or a EM2. We'll see what happens. Lots of movement here. So, okay. Now that previous session low becomes a premium array, so let's see if we get some sort of reaction off of that. Just in case we do decide to sweep some more previous session lows, we'll mark up this old previous session low here. Okay. Actually, I should probably stop deleting these because marking them up every time, yeah, it's probably not efficient. Okay. We'll just leave them there. Okay, cool. So 10-minute time frame. Let's see what happens. Okay, so continue to have our breaks. Five-minute time frame. Nothing really happened. Okay. Okay, so we did have our reaction off of the previous session high there. We can see we had a break of structure here. So for our bearish, actually, you know what? No, sorry, that's my bad. For the EM3 model, I essentially needed all this to occur without creating a new mark structure shift. But we can see here that the market came down. We had our swing, continued lower, and then we kind of just ranged for a bit. So I wouldn't be comfortable taking another sell, and well, it was already late in the day anyway, so we just had the one trade in. Let's take a look at NASDAQ, right? Because we still have this pair for the day. Well, not pair because it's not Forex. I'm used to trading Forex, but see what happens. So remember, our original bias was looking for that previous day high, so we're going to treat it as such. So let's see what happens here. So we break the previous session high. Now this becomes a discount array. Okay. Now we created our new swing high for a break of structure. So break of structure, right? Now we want to go to 5-minute time frame. Okay, so, oh, there we go. We swapped the previous session high. We returned to the previous session high, and we had a strong 10-minute break of structure. So that would leave this as a valid EM1 V2 towards that previous day high. Now remember, we clearly know on ES by backtesting that this did not work out, at least in terms of direction. That's not to say that it might not for NASDAQ at least get us our entry in and out, because that happens sometimes. So let's see here. Okay, it's pretty small, I can't lie. So I'm gonna want to take that full swing, and then this would be 3R. So who knows, maybe we'll get an entry and we'll be in and out. You never know. Okay, so let's see what happens. Okay, look at that. See, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's weird, man, because it's weird because this would have worked out beautifully, but but like it just did not work out on ES. So that's what I'm saying. That's why I have two assets, because it's just so odd with these things sometimes. I think the only problem now is that now we have this huge fake out, and we know from the back testing that we're going to take out this previous day low, or at least go lower. So, but we didn't know that at the time. So this still counts. Well, actually, I don't know why I'm saying still. This was the original bias that we had anyways. So that is a 3R win. I just want to double check something here quickly, because I want to make sure I have this correct. Just put this over here. Okay, so if we take a look at the rules here, I just want to make sure on something. Okay, so for 4R take profit, the stop loss has to be below 70 ticks. And in this case, we're 77, so 3R is okay. So EM1, so this is June 1st, EM1 V2 for NASDAQ is a 3R win. 0.5, trading session AM 77, and then there we go. Okay, cool. So there we go. So 5R for the day so far through back testing, bear in mind. So now on NASDAQ, we can begin to look for either a EM2 or a EM3 continuation. But if we follow the time frame here, the reversal on ES occurred around 9:30, so we would have seen that happen around here. So I wouldn't be at all comfortable looking for a EM3 continuation, as pretty much when I'm trading live, I want to take a look at these side by side and then see exactly what's going on. Like I want to make sure I'm trading in the same direction. That's just foolish not to do so. So set the previous day high. We can delete this now. It's not of any use to me anymore. Now 10 minutes bearish market structure shift for EM2 would be right there for now. Okay, there it is. So technically speaking, we can look for an entry here for a EM2 sell, the target being the previous session low here. So if that previous session low gets swept before entry, this is invalid. Oof. Okay, that is a huge stop loss. Let's take a look at this order block. Okay, I didn't change it very much. So because the order block is too big, we cannot look for any entry here, as it's just too risky for us. So we're going to be deleting that. And that's pretty much just going to conclude the trading day pretty much. And anyways, that target was swept. So yeah, market pretty much did nothing after that. So, all right. Okay, so there we go. So far for the week, we are down 1, and then, okay, so 5. We're up 4 hours so far for the week. Now let's take a look at June the 2nd. Oh, no, I shouldn't have deleted all that. Hold on. Okay. 12-minute time frame. Delete these orange lines. Okay. Okay. Do the same thing for ES. Let's get rid of this green shit. All right, let's take a look at news. Okay, Wednesday, June 2nd, ADP, NFE, FOMC, OPEC all day. It's not looking good, my friends. I can't lie, but because we have news kind of beside each other, and I start trading at 8, I'm not gonna be looking for a trade till 8:45 at the earliest. So let's mark up our daily liquidity here. Previous day low. Don't care about this, but we can convert that to something else. Let's see. Previous session low. Cool. Cool. Okay. Previous session high, which we can see actually had a reaction there as a discount. So that might be something. Previous session high is going to be right there. Previous day high right there. And then we have our old previous session lows there as well. So this is, so far at least, looking like it's aiming for all that sell side liquidity as of now. But I do not predict price. I don't know how many times I want to keep saying that, but I know for a fact many of you are not watching this to the fullest extent. So I just want to be very clear about that. And we have a lot of buy side liquidity here as well, though. Previous session low. Previous session high. Actually, we can delete that one because it's already been used up as a discount array. Okay, and then I'm not trading till 8:45, so I need to mark that up. 8:48, that's cool with me. A couple minutes, I could care less. Let's see, 8:48, cool. 10-minute time frame. So let's see what happens. I'm waiting for this tiny little high or all this shit to be swept. Let's wait for all of it to get swept. That's what I want to see. Okay. None of it occur. Let's see. 12-minute time frame. I'm not comfortable taking a sell until I see a session high to be swept. Now, the alternative to this, actually, now that I see here, I should have it marked up, is we have this London low right here that can be used as a premium array to trace toward that previous day low for an EM1 V2. We just need to come retest it again. Now we can delete this orange line because all that news is done with. Let's see. Okay, it's not really looking like we're going to get that reaction. So, oh, maybe we are. Oh, that's a strong reaction, actually. But that strong of a reaction tells me it's just going to shred through everything. Oh, I'm not. This is horrible. I can't lie. Okay, well, I guess if we were following this traditionally, I didn't even think it was going to retrace back up. We have our previous session low here, which has now been converted to a premium array. We want to see this low get broken for a break of structure. Go in the 5-minute time frame here. Let's see. Okay, that actually, wait. So you want to confirm this stuff, right? Because I'm not, a break of structure isn't like these equal low as some BS, you know what I mean? So let's go on the 4 minute. Okay, no, I made an equal low. It didn't even break it. So I want to wait for one more candle. And then if we see that candle, that is not looking like a strong break of structure, fellas. So 3 candles, none of the 3 candles broke below. So there's no entry here. So I'm pretty much just gonna let the market do its thing. Oh man, this might be another fake out. Oh, so this is what I mean. You know, this happens sometimes, man. Like, look at that. It was so close. But if we follow the trail, this is our 10-minute market structure shift. As far as we're concerned, when did all this happen? Okay, this could be a Judas swing then. So 10-minute market structure shift towards the previous day high can occur. There we go. Now let's see if we can find a decent order block that's not gonna break the bank quite literally. I mean, this is a premium order block as well. I'm not a fan of that. See, that's huge. Oh hell no. Okay, so definitely taking this extreme. That extreme one's big too. Damn. Even if I took it from the candle body, it's just not an improvement, man. Okay, I'm not taking this entry. I'm not at all liking this. So I'm just gonna leave it up, but this is not something I'd take, like, at all. Didn't even come back down. And then PM session wise, we know we have an FOMC member Mester speaking at 1. So let's see what happens. Wow, really slow. Okay, nothing for ES. Oh, I gotta stop deleting that. Nothing for ES. So Nasdaq, let's see what happens. Who knows? We never know. We never know what we don't know. It just is what it is. For all we know, we could have 2 wins on here. Completely different biases too. I don't know. It's different. But remember, we're still looking for that previous day low, unless price tells me otherwise. React, do not predict. I swear that's like my motto at this point. Okay, news went by. Cool. Let's delete that orange line because it's annoying to look at. We have our previous session low swept there. So remember, we're looking for a 10-minute break of structure. Oh no, we actually just swept the previous day low straight up. Okay, so in this case, we're looking for EM2. Whereas the next high we will need to sweep for our EM2 is gonna be right here. See what happens. Okay, I'm going a little too far here. So we can see here that we have our 10-minute break of structure, our market structure shift, sorry. We did sweep the previous day low with a very, very strong reaction. The only thing, well, actually, you know what? Not to mark this up. This premium session, oh, sorry, not premium, previous session low became a premium array the second we swept it. But we can see we had no reaction off of it. So we can pretty much just disregard that altogether. So pretty much I'm looking for a EM2 buy entry towards this previous session high. Unless there's some sort of reaction off of this premium array here. Right? Because if there's a reaction, it's evidence that this is not going to play out in my favor. Now, we take our Fibonacci tool. We can obviously see that it's a strong break. So let's look for our entry here. Take a look here at the order block. So we could have here, let's just take a look at what side. Oh, that's fucking massive. Okay, so this is an extreme one, but let's take a look. Oh, it's definitely huge. Let's see. Oh, it's, yeah. Oh. Okay, so that would be our order block there, because the stop loss is over 100 ticks, but not over 200 ticks. We can take this for a 2R towards this previous session high for an EM2 model. So there we go, 2 R there. Let's see what happens. So there we go. We have our entry. Remember our break-even rules. So we want to go on a 10-minute time frame and identify the next break of structure. Okay. Hold on. Actually, you know what as well. So sometimes we can see here on the 8-minute time frame that because this is something that I really just disregarded, and I can clearly see here that it didn't work out. So something to keep note is that the reason why I use the 8-minute time frame is to sort of confirm the strength of my order blocks. So this would be the most ideal order block to take. However, if we take out our entry tool here, we can see the size of that order block is huge, man. So for that case, we wouldn't even have taken an entry there. So definitely something to keep in mind there. So even though the market did fly away towards the target, it's definitely just something to keep in mind, because in the days that it's not as volatile as it is here, it can really save you a lot of losses. So well, anyways, that looks like it'll wrap up the day for Nasdaq there. So let's tally up the wins here. Let's just take this because I don't want to make a new one. Okay, perfect. Okay, so 1R lesson, so -1, 1, so 4. So this week it is 4R. Now, some of you risk 1%. This could have been 4% made in the week, so that's not that bad at all. So with that being said, that wraps up the video there. Pretty educational, informative. Catch you later.